new show. Yes, I'm 7 minutes late, but nobody's going to comment on that because I've said so, so there.
Just all comment now. Do you know you're late? You're 7 minutes late.
No, according to the iPad, I'm 6 minutes late. So in this iPad,
all
that says
comment
I'm 7
now.
minutes late. Now, the bells have gone. So according to them, I'm on time. So all in all, I don't think it's
Yeah, but you're always saying on every news thing that the bells are out of time. You are always saying that.
No, I just say it because everybody else says I'm only joining on the bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
So
Anyway, she's late.
It doesn't matter, I'm right. It's nothing, it's not important. We're here, that's the most important. So, we've got a lot of interesting news stories. I've tried to fit them all into the title a bit, but you only have 100 letters. And you know, you just cannot fit them all in. And you cannot spell everything correctly and everything, because you know, you have to miss out the odd word now and again just to squeeze it all in. So, we've got a lot more going on, and there's a lot more detailed description to it. Mother is just getting on now.
She's minding her own business.
She's actually looking at pictures of birds. Actually, I feel like she shouldn't be. I feel like she should be really focusing on the news, but instead she's looking at pictures of birds. She's come up with this obsession now, I think, with birds. Haven't you, love?
I've got my own owl now.
Yep, she's still looking at pictures of birds.
Oh no!
Now she's changed to pictures of planes now.
Oh, it's not a plane.
A water plane.
Right.
But it is for the news, but really, she's
why won't it just stop?
Do you want me to do it?
Well, you just get me a picture of that. Oh.
I believe that.
Oh God, things are just going totally wrong.
She just spilled the water everywhere, so that's just going to
everywhere.
create rust.
It's like exaggeration.
It's just going to create rust now. So it's just going to be rusty, and it's going to rust so much that our feet's going to fall out if we get out.
She's just knackered the car.
We just don't know what we're going to do. I've screenshotted
it. Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Right.
This is quite stressful, this one.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yes, I'm ready.
Right. You ready now?
Right. Dave's on.
Hello, Dave.
Devanya's on.
Hello, Devanya.
Nerd alert. 1 year in jail or attend the Diddy party.
Okay.
Unusual comment, but
right, what story should we do first?
Whatever you want to do.
Should we do that one?
Yes, you can do if you like.
Right, so we've got some big debates today.
I got a picture of that anyway after all that.
We've got some big debates today, but this is going to be the first one, which I don't think is a debate. I think it's just a story.
No, this isn't a debate. This is just
a story. This is just a story. Now, at school, when you do show and tell, and you bring something in, and you show it, and you talk about it.
Is that show and tell?
It is.
So it's like show something and tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's why it's called show and tell.
Yeah, but I need to just explain it just in case somebody didn't know.
Does anybody not know what show and tell is?
You're not helping. So somebody at school, at somewhere, primary.
Osmaston Church of England Primary School, Derbyshire.
Somebody brought in a bomb. A grenade bomb. Look. They brought in a grenade bomb, so you read it, love.
Well, staff at Osmaston Primary School, head teacher Jeanette Hart was quite shocked when she did a show and tell.
I don't know who it's called.
I think they protected the names because they're
little
people. A little person brought
just a small one.
The police fortunately couldn't do him
because he was
I say
small.
him, it might have been a her, but or did it say it was a boy? I think it said somewhere. But anyway, it's irrelevant because the little person decided to bring a hand grenade in, and they had to be associated to World War II weapons. It was the assembly on Friday morning. I bet that.
But they had a theme.
Yeah. Well, isn't show and tell always had a theme?
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought you just brought something in.
Well, we probably didn't have anything to theme. I mean, not many people have got a World War II
well,
grenade.
That's what I mean. It's a bit specific.
I just go into the World War II grenade
room
drawer and get you something.
It is a bit specific.
Not everybody. I mean, we have got. Billy's right into his World Wars, isn't he? So we have got stuff.
Yeah, but
the
also
majority
it's
of
not
people,
even...
I bet they haven't.
Yeah, but the other thing is, it's World War II. What about World War One?
Well, I don't suppose you have to. I suppose you can, do different
well, I don't
things.
know.
They might be learning about World War II and not about World War One. They might have already done World War One.
Well, I mean, they've said, "Oh, bring that in." And he's done it, and now he's, getting all having a
now
go at him.
he's made every single national newspaper.
Well, having a go
Bless
at him.
He's even made this really good news channel called. I forgot what it's called now. MRW News.
I've been trying to get on that for years.
I know he's even made MRW News.
Who's spread?
He. I don't know if it's a he. I must have read it's a he to keep saying it's a he. Anyway, the little person brought in
Small one.
a grenade. And they said that, oh yeah, boy. So I thought I'd read. Everything was going fine. They said. So
Until
show
it
and
showed
tell.
So this is the grenade, and like if you weren't careful with it, it could be quite dangerous.
Can you imagine everybody? Oh, this is my dad's magazine. Yawn, yawn, yawn. This is my dad's helmet. Yawn, yawn, yawn. This is my
mum's
granddad's medals. Yawn, yawn, yawn. I've got something. Shh,
This is
little
my
Larry.
granddad.
Shh, it's not your turn yet.
Because this is my granddad.
It's not your turn yet, little Larry. I've got it. And then just everybody just completely goes.
I'd like to show you the place.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun. Oh, Larry, I've entertained us. Anyway, so the teacher, Jeanette, took it outside and put it behind a tree.
Now,
So that's probably blown the tree away. But anyway, they found out afterwards. Obviously, assembly ended, she said. And she wasn't 100% happy carrying it out, to be honest.
well, to me, I think she should have just chuck it. And if she's not comfortable, carrying it, she should have just thrown it.
Go on, pull that daft pin out.
Well, it could also affect his rolling, couldn't it? If the pin was in there, so.
They didn't know what was going on, the children, but they were excited
I think
because
some of them.
they saw the police, and
I think
because
he
they're
would
playing
have.
out. I bet they do when they get home and tell their parents. That's why I
You know
said
that John?
local Facebook page. Imagine Billy had made a Facebook page with him, Billy.
And you know that Jim? Yeah, it's radio, isn't it?
Oh, and they'd have just made it Billy. They'd just said, "Oh, it was Billy." It would have been his fault.
It wasn't. It was Sam. No, it's Billy.
No, it was Billy.
I'm sure Sam brought it in. No, it's definitely Billy.
It's like on this local Facebook page, there's this man that has some sheep, and whenever these sheep are out, the sheep could be out in outer Mongolia, but it's his fault. And they go, oh, it'll be so and so. I won't say his name because he's never done me any harm. I say, it'll be so and so sheep. And they say, oh, there's some sheep up, on the Hebridean Isles.
Marks, and that one's got blue. Ah, it still is.
Still is, yeah.
That'll be right. Just send him that way.
Yeah, but it is. Just blame him.
And even he might be thinking, oh, look, all the sheep I'm getting.
Yeah. I'm not even a farmer.
I just get them.
Just everybody just says the mice. I just don't collect them. Anyway, so yeah.
Oh, all right, let's go pick them up. And if anybody complains, said, well, look, they all say it's mine.
Mine, so
I've got the public side. Who have you got?
You say something enough and people believe you, so I just believed it. So now I've got 450 sheep. I've got a clue how to look after them.
I just stuck them out inside a field.
Right, so Adrian's on.
Hello, Adrian.
Gary's on.
Hello, Gary.
And he says it's a beautiful Sunday evening. Gary, a grenade, lol, did they pull the pin? Well, so we didn't get to the end of the story. Sorry about that, Gary. It was nothing wrong with it. They came and the police came and the army experts came, bomb disposal came, and it was...
But didn't he, so the teacher, she knew somebody else was bringing in like a bullet case, but she didn't know about the grenade.
Oh, they forewarned if it was anything, more than, I don't know. They'd forewarned if it was something like, bullets and bombs and stuff like that. But they hadn't forewarned her with it, so the bullet case got passed.
The bullet case I don't really care about.
Somebody says stop yapping. It's a news show, love. That's the idea.
What
It
else do you
won't
want us to
stop.
do?
So you'll have to,
Stop commenting.
Yes.
I don't, actually...
Yeah, stop breathing.
Come to think of it, I want you to stop commenting.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, so
Unless it's something actual decent and benefit.
Stop going on your iPad.
But she won't be on the phone.
Big meanie.
Oh, I don't know what she'll be on. But anyway, just stop touching it.
I wonder what they think you're going to do. So as soon as it's just this anonymous person, because it's one
Start
of those stupid
thinking
accounts, go
better.
stop yapping, you're just going to stop.
Anyway, carry on.
So that's it. Anders is on.
Hello.
Gary says next week he's bringing in an assault rifle. And Nan says super conversation, so he's saying don't stop yapping. Hey, can I take you out? No. Really, I'm John. Sing you a sweet. I see you both on great form, Adrian says. Thank you, Adrian. And Rob's on. Hello, Matilda. Hello, Mum. Only joking, but my electric car never broke down. Lol, petrol cars, I don't know. No, it's not funny, Rob. If you're going to put only joking, you've got to put something that's funny.
Yeah, that's just like pathetic. Sorry. But
Sorry, Rob.
it's just, if you didn't point out the joke, people just think,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right, next one.
I believe I can fly.
Well, you can't.
I believe I can touch the sky.
Well, you can't.
I believe.
You're talking absolute crap because you can't.
Right, I believe I can take apart a car and turn it into a motorbike, which I can't do, but somebody else can do. So, are you gonna? So I have been away. So
Emile Leroy.
Oh,
was it Leroy?
I have been away, so I have had
Leroy.
to like quickly learn everything. Let me.
Emile Leroy.
Let me. How do you pronounce?
Leroy. Emile Leroy. Well, how much more do you want?
Me Leroy. Is that his name there?
Yes.
Was that not supposed to be like an M or something? No.
No, what happened was, like I explained to you, when I printed it off, I must have just missed his first name, but it's called Emile. So it starts Leroy.
Marie.
No. I said about that little interruption on the news tonight. Emile
Leroy.
Leroy.
So Emile Leroy.
Leroy, right, we've got it.
Off
we go.
So I'm going to explain the story and then Mother's going to explain it a different way. What happened was...
Emile
I
Leroy.
don't know why, but obviously...
You don't get this with Patrick Christie's, do you?
Obviously some people decide... Obviously you're adventurous. So we decided to go to the desert. And is it Sahara Desert?
Yeah.
Is that the desert it went to? Look at me go.
What?
I'm not ready yet.
Well, you're stuttering and going on. I was going to get it
No, I'm
going
not.
out.
Yeah, but you interrupted me now. Listen.
Interrupted.
So he decided to go to the desert, right? And he was going to do this trip, which I think was like 8 hours long, and which obviously the desert is a bit hot, and there's a lot of sand, but there's not really any,
There's no McDonald's.
Yeah, so it's a bit difficult. So he set off and he had this old car. So I'm going to show you the car. Did you take?
Oh, it's a Citroen 2CV.
Okay, so I can't really show you any pictures because she hasn't took them, but it's a Citroen CV.
Everybody knows what a Citroen 2CV.
Okay.
There it is, there.
Yeah, but he's got the man inside and I don't want him yet.
Well, he just
We
looks
haven't
like
got to the story yet. Just give me a second.
Well, you get to see the Citroen 2CV in a minute if you haven't seen one. Otherwise, just Google it and you can see a picture. Because it just looks like a standard 2CV.
Because they're supposed to be, really reliable. Which I'm sure they are. But in this...
Yeah, but they don't build them to go across the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, but...
I mean, reliable, pottering to the
anyway,
shops and stuff
the point
like
of the
that.
matter is, there was a war going on at the time, but they had a ceasefire. So this was a while ago. When was it, actually?
1993.
Okay. So it was 1993, and there was a war going on
How many
between
years
two
ago
people.
was that then?
There was a war going on, but they had ceasefires. But even when the ceasefires, they still were on and off the fighting, even though it was a ceasefire, like they didn't really do it. So he sort of, for some reason, decided to go off and do this trip. So he got to a point where there was like a checkpoint, like a stop thing, and he said, "Oh, can I, get past?" And they were like, "Oh no, well, could you take a soldier to like a nearby town?" And it's supposed to be for some part of their culture, like you're supposed to do that. Which I suppose, yeah, sure, it might be. So he made an excuse and said, "Oh no, I can't because my insurance." So
In the middle of a war.
so they understood that and said, "All right, we're gonna have to turn back." So he turned back, but then he started looking for a track, to like still go on his route. So he continued and he found his track. He thought, "Oh, that'll do," and it was like really bumpy track. So he was on it and he was bumping around, and eventually his tire did some form of bending.
Well, it didn't say exactly what
think
it
it
was,
was like
but I
the
think it must have been
chassis.
like the wishbone. I mean, I might be totally wrong. I think it must have been from that holds
Oh,
a
and what's
tyre in
his-
place, stops a
What's
tyre
his
from going
career
like that.
as well? Because that's quite an important part of the story.
I didn't say what his career was.
Oh well, I found out his career, but I've forgotten it.
Oh, an electrician.
Oh, he's an electrician. Okay, I thought it was something else. But anyway, so then, right, so he broke down. So what he had to do was, he had a limited amount of food and water to go. He travelled quite a bit as it was. So he thought, well, I can't repair this, but he brought a lot of tools with him. So he decided to do was literally make a motorbike. He literally made a motorbike. So I'm going to show you the pictures. So he thought about it, he said his head, how's this going to work? He had enough tools for it. So this is the motorbike.
And he made that out in the Sahara Desert.
He made it inside the Sahara Desert. And this was when, I don't know how he took photos of it all.
Well, I think he's gone back.
I think, well, he did go back to pick it up.
Oh, yeah, he's gone back then and taken the photograph. The photographs of the bike is in a different area. Then he's obviously gone back to the Citroen 2CV because somebody's taken that photograph. Because it was in 1993. To have a camera that took a photograph that you weren't holding would have been, you'd have had to be, like a wealthy person, even if they did them then. I think they did, but, the average person wouldn't have had one.
So he basically made his bag. He estimated it was going to take about 3 days. I think he took about 12.
Oh, so he got it totally wrong. You don't want him to come and do a quote, do you?
I
if
think
he's
he
doing
did
your
quite
house.
well to make his bag. But
Putting new electrics in, how long is it going to take?
He had a lot
3
of
or 4 days,
he
and he's there
had
until
to
next
keep
month.
testing it every single time to like adjust things. So his first time he said like it was like quite dangerous and he nearly killed himself, like or really injured himself. Can you imagine if he injured himself? Like he
No, I
would be
suppose if
really
you're going to
stuck
die
then.
anyway.
Listen, I have to keep that moving with it. So then, it's like,
Do you want me to put this across?
yeah.
It's
So then,
amazing what these cars do, isn't it, with these?
it's funny. Yeah. So then he had to go through loads of test runs, and he went for like one test run, and like right at the end where he lost count, and he just thought, right, I'm just going to risk it. And he went, but he was actually about 25 miles, I think he was, off civilization. But the thing is, I don't exactly know if he knew he was 25 miles away from civilization.
It was
or he
20
did.
miles. You just walk, wouldn't you?
I think well, I don't know if it's 20 or 25 because I've had different opinions, but people saying
Like who?
the man of YouTube. And that man there. And
I'm going to go put a blanket in front of the car because you're just going to carry on squinting.
yeah, well, it is pretty damn bright.
off.
You're not supposed to look at the sun, because of you'll just like hurt your eyes. But
I'm going to
obvious reasons.
sort it.
Thanks.
You can build a car, I can sort this. I can sort the sun.
I mean, it's pretty clever. 'Cause, he had to like literally do it all. And he made it into a proper bike, with all the turning wheels and stuff and the brakes and things. And it was quite a heavy thing. And obviously, he didn't have full tools. And they won't. I suppose I know tools don't really advance too much, but they will have advanced a lot from now. So the tools will be a lot more different. So he had to ration his water and stuff. But I think the last day he really ran out of water, and so he just had to go for it, and do what he had to do to leave. Wait. What are you doing?
How's that?
The sun's there.
Where?
Right, where the big thing inside the sky.
There? Is that better?
Yes, a whole lot more better.
So stupid Starmer's spending 57 million on scientists to try dim the sun, and I've done it with a hearth rug. 2 minutes.
Honestly, the things you can do.
And it's not affected the environment.
No.
Idiot. Right. Oh, shattered now.
So I mean, he did a
dimming
pretty
the
good
sun.
job because he managed to get back. Oh, and then hang on a minute. Sorry, plot twist.
Missed the main
Forgot
bit.
the plot twist. Right. So then he went through the desert. Police picked him up. Something about a camel. I don't know if they picked him up on a camel. So they picked him up. Right. Fined him for not having the right details.
Documentation for his vehicle. Can you believe that?
Well, he just made it, so he's not going to, is he?
No. You haven't had time to get it MOT'd, have you, idiot? I just made it in Sahara Desert.
Honestly, I should have been any like, But really, he did because it's made out of the same parts his car's made out of.
Yeah.
So really, he did have the right documents, didn't he?
Yeah, they're obviously as daft as North Yorkshire Police, aren't they?
I mean, don't you think he did? Because of it was the same
Well,
vehicle.
I can't go, it was 1993, I can't go back and start, chatting about it.
But I mean, I suppose at least he got picked up, so we didn't have to, do the rest of the ride. But I mean, still. Anyway, then he went back and picked up his bike. But he also, I was going to say, he also had a lot of fear with the fact of inside the desert they have a lot of like thieves, where basically they'll like come and steal from you, like all your stuff. So he was like a bit wary of that as well because of like he'd have no protection.
Gary says we call 2CV upside down prams French rust buckets. Well, Gary's obviously not that keen on them. And he says it's a clever conversation. He must have some engineering background. A 50 Thunder's on.
Oh.
This is what you're talking about.
A man who got stuck inside the desert and then turned his car into a motorbike and then got fined from the police for not having the right details.
Documentation. And he's called Matilda, I'll tell you what he's called, and then you can Google him afterwards. Don't go Googling him now. Go on, what's he called?
Milan.
Is he
somebody? I'm rubbish with names. I'm absolutely appalling.
Emil Leray.
Leray. I'm just so bad with them.
Right. Well, I thought it was a very interesting story. What's your next one?
Right, so this is going to be a big debate. So I'm sure you have heard this in the news, but I'm sure you want your opinion on it as well. And there's quite a lot of sides to this story. So, I do want to just like read the top line.
Peter Sullivan is convicted for the murder of Diane Sindel, and she was from Seacombe, and she was murdered in August 1986. This is my points that I've put across. I thought you were reading the story from what you knew when I was.
So Peter got convicted of murdering her, Diane, and how it went was there isn't really that much evidence in the first place for it. But the thing is, anybody inside the area at the time sort of like got accused of it, didn't they? Really, like they literally were interviewing like pretty much every single man inside the area. And the only reason why they thought it was a man, which obviously usually yes they are men, but you know you can't just knock out women completely. But it was a taxi driver basically. What drove past and saw them arguing. But I mean they actually like remade it on Crime Watch, didn't they? But they didn't really have many evidence on it, all of it completely. But basically she was working at a pub. She was 21 years old, and she was earning money because she was getting married the next year. And she was also worked as a florist. I think it was a family business.
Dan's on.
Hello, Satnav Dan.
And Cal's on.
Hello, Cal. She was working as a florist, so she had this like blue. It was really nice vehicle. I suppose I'm thinking of the vehicle as like Crime Watch. It's confusing when they do that Crime Watch though, because you just immediately picture that, don't you?
Yeah.
I suppose that's why they do it, but like I'm just like picturing that.
The Fiat.
Yeah.
She had a blue Fiat van.
But anyway, so she was driving that. She said something about the fact that she was hungry, so she was going to get some food on the way back. So she was travelling, right, and she ran out of fuel. Now, this is obviously a while ago where phones and stuff they didn't have. So she ran out of fuel, so she thought, right, I'm just going to walk. Now, they don't know exactly what she was walking to. They don't know if she was walking to a payphone, or she was walking to the garage, or she was walking home. I don't know. But where she stopped at, there was some carpenter joiners. Two joiners working late, which is 12 o'clock at night, quite late for them to be working, but and they were there. So then she basically started walking. They had 3 sightings of her. One just sighted of her. The other one, the taxi driver said she was arguing with somebody, but she said he thought a man, but he thought that like they looked like they knew each other, but they was arguing. And then another sighting a bit more further up from there, but she was by herself. So then, obviously, the horrific thing happened where obviously she was raped and basically murdered. Well, she was murdered. Sorry, she was murdered. And very deeply harmed. So that happened. Then about, I don't know if it was 1 day or 2 days after, there was some dog walkers, there was a fire, and somebody, because they came across this fire, it was obviously just freshly lit and freshly was burning, so whether the person got scared away or not, but her clothes were being burnt, so obviously the murderer was like burning her clothes. So then it ended up the fact of him getting convicted of
a couple. One of the reasons, the evidence they used was eyewitness accounts, dental analogy, and eyewitness accounts, dental analogy, and the fact that he'd said he'd done it. But the people that saw him running away from the fire, sorry, didn't see him running away, obviously, claimed they saw him running away. They didn't actually pick him out in an identity parade.
Yeah. Yeah. So they said, oh yeah, it's him, but it turns out they didn't actually pick him out as an identity, parade. So they could have just saw a man, which at the end of the day, once if you see a brown-haired man, then there's a lot of brown-haired men around.
And some people, you see it on everything, on social media and everything. They get a little bit of excitement. They think they can be in with it. I knew somebody who was married to somebody and they divorced, and they said they went to court, was always getting in trouble, the place. They actually enjoyed, because even though it was negative, when they went to court, all the attention was on them. So some people think, oh yeah, look at me, I'm going as a witness and stuff like that, and they'll say anything. And this is why I suppose witness, things like that and circumstantial evidence is just rubbish, really.
Yeah, because like you were saying, the fact of, say if you were like driving along and you saw a blue car overtake you inside the corner of your eye, and then somebody said, oh, we're looking for a black car.
Oh, it may have been black. I only saw it for a little bit.
Yeah, like, oh, and then once they
I was black.
Yeah, and once they start questioning, like, oh, is it black and black? You go, oh, maybe it was black. And then by the time you get to court date, yeah, it's black.
It was definitely a black car. I know it was black. But yeah, that's
the problem.
But they should never have had them as witnesses because they didn't pick them up in the.
And also the thing is, they're saying like, so a woman. At the end of the day, when you drive, and you're not looking at everybody, so it could just be another woman, couldn't it, or anything?
It was dark.
It was the high street, the busy.
It was
main
dark.
High street.
It was 12 o'clock, 10 past 12 at night. So how could
somebody else
it was?
actually,
unless you knew them.
Somebody else actually got abused on the same night.
Yeah.
Same area. But she wasn't, exact same, but it could have been the exact same person. But I don't know, because obviously I don't know. I don't know. If I knew, I would, say something. But I don't. So
Cal says, I heard it was well known who had really done it.
Yeah.
Gary says, saw that news, a lifetime put away for nothing. He's not the only one. I bet there are plenty more. Adrian says he lost 40 years of his life. He should be getting more than $1 million. We're going to go on to that, Adrian.
Yeah.
Gary says, money can't replace the time he's lost. It's such a sad story. And Isaac says, I'm your subscriber from Tripura. And Adrian, thank you so much, Adrian. You're a
Thank
superstar.
you very, very much, Adrian.
Thank you.
That's
That's
wonderful.
obviously really well appreciated.
It is indeed. Thank you very much for that.
Thanks so much, Adrian. And he says, great live. Thank you, Matilda.
Thank you very much,
And obviously,
joining.
thank you,
for
Adrian.
that.
And we can't manage without people like you.
Thank you very much for that. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. Now,
Rob, now I meant that my electric car didn't break down like micro flat battery. Rob, we're not bothered about your electric
just
car.
don't care, like-
I'm bothered
like-
about somebody's been locked up.
a bit more serious
It's a bit
situation.
serious. It's been locked up for 38 years.
Yeah,
and
nothing you have to do.
not
something
only
you
is
have
that a
to do
worry
with.
that he's been locked up for 38 years, but it's also a worry how bad our judicial system is, that somebody has been locked up. So there's more concerning things than your electric car. I think we're over it now.
Yes, so lucky. So then, obviously, this all happened when he was 29 years old, and he's now 68, isn't he? So he's been locked away for that whole time, and obviously everybody's called him every name under the sun. Well, not everybody, but you know, all the people at the time.
He got called the Beast of Birkenhead, and he got called the Wolfman because apparently she got such horrific bites to her.
Yeah, but that was part of the evidence, the fact of the teeth markings. But a lot of the teeth specialists say that isn't actually
what happened
substantial
was
evidence, because they can never actually fully tell, you know, for anybody, not just him, the fact of the teeth
the
marks.
dental records, the specialists were saying that surprisingly, which I'm sure you're surprised at, I'm surprised at, they're not that good. It's not that good in evidence because so many people's teeth are similar. So it's not like your DNA that's exclusive to you and your fingerprints. Teeth are, from dental records, can be very similar. And even back then in 1986, one of the dentists said it wasn't. So they disagreed and said it wasn't. And then they changed.
Yeah.
I don't think you should be allowed to do that. And then they changed. So how was it not at one point?
And why did they change?
Yeah, and then suddenly it was. So that was another thing about it. And then they said they never pushed on this bit to know why, but it said brown fibres found at the scene matched a garment in his home, and then there's been nothing that we've looked into it that said what happened about that. And then it said he left abruptly from Merseyside for London, but he had learning difficulties, doesn't he? He was of low intelligence. So if you think, if he's not done it, and it still could do suspicious actions, couldn't he? Because he'd be panicking and thinking, oh my god, you know, other people think I've done this. So I wouldn't say that was it's only circumstantial evidence anyway, isn't it? You know, he could have panicked out of fear and thought, oh, I've got to get away with it.
We could have literally had somewhere to go.
Yeah, so there was nothing to convict him, really. And then his confession, he confessed to it, but again, it was because he was pressured. He says that he'd been physically and verbally attacked by the police.
Which the thing is, at the time, obviously I think this was going on for like 8 months or something before they got him. They have all the, you know, press and everything, crime watching, everything, doing stuff about it. They just need to blame somebody, don't they?
Well, it's happened many times.
Yeah,
hasn't it?
they just needed somebody.
Because obviously the cost. They feel under pressure to get somebody because it's going on. It's made it public, and people at the time they'll be saying you don't go out at night, won't they? Women wouldn't have been going. Well, they will have been. So they think, oh well, we've got to do something. And then it's a tick box, isn't it? It's not the care of, oh, maybe we've got the wrong person.
And the care that they could strike again.
But so anyway, so he's going to be getting it. Well, he might not be getting. You can apply for it, and the percentage of people that have got compensation for miscarriage of justice is just pathetic.
Isn't it like 33 out of 5?
Thousands. They're just pathetic. So there's nothing to say he'll get it. The only way he'll get it is public pressure. Yeah. So it needs public pressure, but the most you can get is £1 million. So what do people think? I think it's absolutely outrageous, and he should get a lot more.
And also, I'm a bit confused by it, so I might get my facts wrong, but I'm a bit confused by it, whether it is or not. But the fact of he's been inside prison, they take that off his compensation.
I think that's sick.
The fact of
He didn't want to be in prison, did
yeah,
he?
no. So all his from the taxpayer, from all his food, all his you know being inside and his gym and whatever money he costs, they take that off his compensation. But the thing is, he didn't do anything wrong. You know, he was wrongly in there, so he shouldn't
It
have
will
that.
have cost more than £1 million to house somebody for 38 years.
Yeah, but also the thing is, say that is his compensation. That's not the same for his life, obviously. But the only thing we can't give his life back, we can give him money. So that's the only thing we can give him, so to make the rest of his life good. But at the end of the day, with £1 million, you buy a good house, right? You're looking at 500 grand, which yeah, a good house. But at the end of the day, it's only got 500 grand left.
It depends. He came from Birkenhead, but it's nothing to say that his family still live in that area. So if they say move to London or something, obviously his only choice, because they've locked him away for 38 years, is to go where his family is. If it's a house in London, £1 million is nothing.
And then what's he gonna? He's gonna like get a job?
He can't. Well, he won't be able to work, will he? He'd be so institutionalised. And he's obviously he's already like they say, he's of low. He's got learning difficulties, so what chance? And why should he be working anyway?
And I know
his retirement age.
Well, he should have retirement. I mean,
and I think he was saying stuff that he's got poor eyesight now, and he's got a lot of disabilities.
Yeah, and also the other thing is, you don't know what he could have done inside his life. You don't know he could be a multi-millionaire now. You don't know what he could have done, so you don't know how much money he could have had. You don't know what life. You never do know, and either does he. But anyway,
he had no legal representation. He had no appropriate adult, even though he was obviously of low intelligence, so he should have definitely had one. And he gave a confession, but listen to this. It wasn't recorded. There's a surprise. So he probably didn't give that confession, did he?
Whatever happened.
And the trial, unbelievably, was 2 days long.
What does that mean?
Well, yeah, they had a murder trial 2 days long.
I don't really know much about trials, so...
Well, they take months, don't they?
Well, that's what I mean. They wanted him done fast.
Yeah. Anyway, in 2008, he applied to the Criminal Cases Review Commission, but it declined it to refer his case to the Court of Appeal, citing that further testing of expert opinions was unlikely to reveal a usual DNA profile. In 2019, he applied to the Court of Appeal again, but that was objected. Oh, no, it took, and this is disgusting, from 2019 to 2021, it took for them to do it, and then they objected it again. So he had all that waiting about. And then in March 2021, he raised concerns again about the police interview, the bite marks and the weapon. And finally, the Criminal Cases Review Commission ordered new forensic testing and uncovered DNA from an unknown man. So if he hadn't pushed that, he'd have still been locked up. And if there was no DNA, he'd have still been locked up. If they hadn't kept anything, he'd have still been locked up to this day. In March 2025, the CPS were asked to confirm if it would oppose Peter's appeal. The hearing was scheduled to take place before Easter. At a preliminary hearing, the CPS said it did not dispute the new evidence. That's good of them, isn't it? So, yeah, it's a terrible story.
It is indeed. I mean, it's just shocking the fact of like he's had that.
And it's a shocking of the appeal courts, isn't it? They won't listen.
No, because like that could have been done so much more quicker. And at the end of the day, this guy's continuing. He's saying the same. Oh, I didn't do it for all these years. If you're a murderer, you just give in. Wouldn't you think? Oh, yeah,
why didn't they let him appeal it?
Yeah, because he's obviously persistent. Which you'd think, oh, if this guy's that persistent, we might just give him a shot because he seems to be quite determined.
It's like the Lucy Letner case, isn't it? They won't let her appeal it, will they? You'll find out, in years to come. But why won't they let them appeal it? This is what gets me. And why didn't him 3 times, and then they decided now? And in 2008, I think the judges should be made accountable, but they've no accountability, have they? If they just sit there, don't they, in their wig and say, oh no, by the way, you can't do it. You can't go anywhere. You can only go further up and up, and if it's, I presume with it being criminal, he will get legal aid. But if it's anything else, you can't do it, can you? Because it's cost. You couldn't do it. No, I just think it's judicial system is knackered, obviously. Isaac says, I've watching your videos for many a time. Carl says, think how much I've done since 1986. It's a long time. I know, it's shocking. Think how much you've done.
I know indeed. It's honestly just...
Anders says, how is Maureen? Maureen's very well, thank you, Anders. Dave says he should be able to live a comfortable life in an area where he's largely unknown, so it doesn't affect unwanted attention.
Well, he should have, he should have people, ironing his shirts and everything. He should able to just pay them, because he should just able to not do anything, should he?
I hope he doesn't get, abuse. It's been cleared now that his DNA, it wasn't him. So I just hope people just leave him be.
And you don't know how, press people, like, will they just be going interviewing him constantly?
Well, the press will just carry on until it's not an interesting story. They're not interested in the slightest.
No.
They'll just carry on. They'll milk as much out of it as they can. And then when people are bored of it, that's it. You'll never hear from it again.
He could get an interview, because if he has an interview, he'll get millions of pounds for that. So release a bit more action.
No, the first person, there'll be a book and all sorts, won't there?
Yeah. He should really do that, just because of the fact of, make money, and so he can have a better life than the last bit he's got. And
tell his side of the story.
Isn't it? Exactly. And make awareness. Right, do you want to read that one?
Yeah, have you got a thing?
Yeah.
So Donald Campbell's Bluebird is to return to a site where it broke its first world speed record 70 years ago. So he reached 202.32 miles per hour, setting his first world water speed record aboard the hydroplane at Ullswater in Cumbria in 1955. So on the 23rd of July of this year, the craft will be on display at the lake's Glen Ridding Pier to mark the anniversary of Mr. Campbell's achievement. He broke 7 records before he died in 1967, and he died on Coniston Water whilst trying to break the previous speed of 276 miles per hour. And so this is marking the 70th anniversary of Mr. Campbell's first successful attempt. So it was recovered from the bottom of Coniston Water in 2001. It was rebuilt by a team of engineers on Tyneside, and there was a long-running ownership row, but it has been handed over to the Ruskin Museum in March 2024. So if anybody's interested, you can go and see Donald Campbell's Bluebird.
Indeed. Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
Indeed it is. Have a little trip out and go to there and get a sandwich and go I had a soup today.
Oh, did you? Well done, you.
I honestly, I know it sounds a bit bad, but I had to keep working out whether it was tinned or not.
Where did you get it from? Did you get it out of tin?
No. It was, everybody went to this place and you just chose a meal and you got it. But I'm not going to say the place, just in case it wasn't tinned, because of I feel like it wasn't. There was evidence of full food, evidence of full. It was chunky vegetable.
All right.
I don't think it was tinned, but it just tasted.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's just I haven't had like a fresh vegetable soup before, so I thought it was tinned. I don't know, and I've had tinned. I don't know. But the bread was nice though. The bread was really nice. It was brown, and it came with like this little cheese, grated cheese thing. Well, come to think of it, the grated cheese, I feel like that was freshly grated because he didn't have like all the sawdust and powdery stuff on it.
Yeah.
So the cheese was freshly grated.
Right.
It didn't come with salad or crisps or anything.
No.
Though, which I thought, But I wasn't very refilling either.
Oh,
but
dear.
It wasn't breakfast. It wasn't dinner. It was brunch.
A brunch. You're having brunch now, camping.
That's what I got told. Like we're not going. Everybody, they were like, no, we're not going for breakfast. We're not going for dinner. We're going for brunch. So yeah, that's what we have, brunch.
Right.
Yeah.
Satnav Dan says, have you ever seen the footage of Bluebird's crash? It's terrifying. Yes, I have. 50 Thunderer, I managed to get to 90 miles per hour earlier. What were you driving? 90 miles per hour. Stephen says, hi there, hope everyone is good. We are, thank you. Gary says, the whole Campbell family love racing. I believe his daughter held a few records too. Carrie says, all right, girls, how's the news going? It's going all right, thank you. And 50 Thunderer says, yes, horrific crash.
Indeed.
So there you go. All done?
Yes. I'm just trying to think.
Oh, Gary, you're a star.
Well thank you very much,
well done, Gary. Sorry, missed concert. You both sounded great. Thank you so much, Gary.
Thank you.
It's had thousands of views.
Yes, I've just done a concert on Friday, so you can go have a look at that.
You're a star, Gary. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. Very much appreciated. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
I have got some news, but the video is unfortunately on her iPad, so I can't show you the video. Guess what we've got in our garden?
It's just a small thing. It's very squidgy.
We've got our own hedgehog.
We have got our own hedgehog.
I'm over the moon with it, and I got you a video of it, and I've left it on the one she's on, so I can't show you the video. Oh, he's so cute. He's just so lovely.
I have another friend who has a hedgehog, and she was so jealous the fact that she had a hedgehog.
Who was so jealous?
You.
Well, I was, yeah.
She
I hate
was so
it when
jealous.
people say it.
So then when she got a hedgehog,
It's over
she
the
came
moon.
round to give me some veg, and while she passed me over with the veg, Mother popped down and said, "Guess what? Have you heard the news?"
I was in the middle we're doing a house up, and I was right up at the top, and I was covered in like what's it called when you put it on the wall? Yeah,
Plaster?
cement, plaster, that's it. Covered in plaster, but I thought I'm not having missing this opportunity. So I started doing a plastering. I didn't care if it went hard, and it took me about 4 hours to chop it off later. I went scuttling downstairs because I thought she's always gloating about her hedgehog, and it makes me so angry. So I went scuttling downstairs. I said, excuse me, and she goes, "What?" She probably thought, "Why is she talking to me?" It's only me usually, Matilda. She's usually like,
usually just
mute.
keeps herself to
Yeah, just keeps herself to herself. I said,
And she's often like, "Is your mother alright?" She just, that's her. And then this opportunity, she was like, "Hello."
yeah. So I said, "Have you heard the news?" And she goes, "No, what?" I said, "I have a
And I was thinking, what news?
I have a hedgehog." So you know what she said? She said, "Oh, do you think it's mine?" So I said, "No, I don't think it's yours whatsoever. I think it's mine." So she said, "Well, how big is it?" So I thought, oh, well, you know, hers is obviously either really,
So if
really
you're watching
big
this.
or really, really small. So I said, "Yeah, it's massive." I said, "Absolutely, it's the biggest hedgehog I've ever seen." So she said, "How big's yours?" So she goes, "Mine's only small." So I said, "Oh, it's not yours then, is it?"
I don't think
I've taken all these years to get a hedgehog. Nobody's coming and
I don't
taking
think
it
it
from
will
me.
be because it'll have to travel, so I don't think it will be hers.
I have to cross the road. I shall be onto the council and make sure we've got traffic lights with my hedgehog. So I've spoken to it and I said, you know, whatever you want, if you want the garden redesigning or anything upsets you whatsoever, just speak to me and it shall be done for you. So I've got some wood, as you've seen in the video, we got some wood and Billy's been axing it, as you've seen that he's made an axe. And I've been the one trailing it to the shed. So one night I thought, I want to get it done while it's still dry. So one night I thought, oh, I'll do a bit when it's dark. So I was so depressed, trailing this wood on my own. And then suddenly I saw this thing scuttle and thinking it was a rat. And then I went, oh! I couldn't believe it. Why do birds suddenly appear? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So I went running into Matilda. I said, "We've got a hedgehog."
Oh, literally, I heard her shouting, right? And she says, "Oh, Matilda, come and see this." And I immediately thought she's got a hedgehog.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my luck.
And she didn't have to tell me. I just could tell that, you
So
know.
now he's got all his little bowls set out and all his little water and everything. And
comes pottering in like a little prince. And pure.
his little napkin around his neck.
He's ready. All he has to do is literally walk in and out of his home.
Yeah.
Doesn't do all the foraging.
The little
part.
sand path we've made him so he doesn't hurt his little paws.
With little light up lights.
His little menu rolls down. Mealworms.
Mealworms, hedgehog food. Which one shall I have?
Cat food.
Can I have both?
Yeah, of course you can. Bless him. So
And
that
can I
was
have
a really
pinch of
exciting,
mint?
really exciting news, hasn't it? What have you done with my iPad now?
Oh, I was gonna. So I'm doing it for you, love. Right. So I just want to quickly say, so if you want to, after this, there's my mother's YouTube channel. There you go. So you can go subscribe to that and see all of her videos. So you can go have a look at that. You can see Jane Walden. Search that
I've got
up.
60 subscribs now. Nearly catching Matilda up.
And then you can also see my music account as well, which is right there. So go have a look at that. Not my fault. Go have a look at that and go have a look at videos and hit the subscribe button. It's Matilda Walden Music #MRW Music Official. And then I've got a pony account.
You're so sad.
Pony account. Go have a look at that as well.
And then we've got a hedgehog account.
And then I've got a rabbit account.
Right, thank you. Right, all done.
Right, I think that's everything.
I think it certainly is.
I think it's everything. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and we'll catch you next week.
What's happened?
Yeah, I don't know what day the news is going to be on next week. So you might just have to look out for that because I don't know what day it's going to be.
Kerry says she saw the post.
Oh yes.
Adrian says please like the live.
Thank you.
Curbside Classics is on. Evening Matilda.
Hello.
Hedgehogs are so cute. They certainly are. Kerry says hedgehog's very spiky. Adrian
if you
says
stroke them.
what's his name? We haven't named him actually, have we? What do you want to call him, Adrian? You can name our hedgehog. We think he's a him.
It's got to be a good one,
Because
though.
he's big, yeah. Don't call it Hedgy or something like that, or Hoggy. So Adrian, you can name the hedgehog. Oh, it's just gone under this stupid thing where it moves the comments. Cal says, at the rail ales yesterday, there was a steam train called Butler Henderson. Have you seen that? I have not seen that. 50 Thunder says, the highest number of hedgehogs I've had in... Oh, here we go. It's got somebody with more hedgehogs than me.
Read it out.
It's just don't read it. We read all comments out unless it's somebody who's got multiple hedgehogs. The highest number of hedgehogs I've had in my garden at the same time is 6.
Nah, sorry.
6?
That's excessive. I don't believe that.
These days there are only 2. I call them Oliver and Cromwell. What have you got 2 for? I'm going to have to up my game.
Nah.
I probably got 2 somewhere.
Yeah.
I think they come at different times.
Yeah.
Gary says, lovely to see hedgehogs. I had a family of them in the garden, mum with 4 baby ones.
No, you didn't.
Gary!
You just didn't.
Baby ones? That's up in your game a bit. Curbside Classic says they love cat food. They certainly do. And Kerry says there's lots of rats in Bulwell. Well, this is my problem, Kerry, because I thought if I'm feeding him, I'm going to get rats, aren't I? So I'm going to have to up my game. I think I get Billy to do me a little hedgehog thing, but I think rats can still go in, can't they?
Just
How do you feed? Well, that's a question. How do you feed a hedgehog without feeding rats?
Sign saying you only come in if you have spikes.
Yeah, rats are really very intelligent. So
they'll get like a little spike rug. I got spikes. Right, you only come in if you got a hedgehog and I identify as a hedgehog.
I identify as a hedgehog.
No.
Well, Dave's up to his game as well. He once saw an albino hedgehog in a churchyard when attending a funeral. I've never seen an albino hedgehog.
I have.
Gary says, I'll subscribe if Brian had an account. God, don't tempt her, Gary. Have you subscribed to mine, Gary?
I don't have the time to handle Brian's account.
And Curbside Classic's seen an albino badger. Gary says Elon is a good name. Oh, God, Gary. Elon's a good name for it. Can you imagine calling your hedgehog Elon? Danny says hi.
Huh?
Billy. Adrian says Billy. I've got a Billy.
That's no problem. Well, yeah, but Billy gets called damn nuisance majority of the time. An idiot and just... Ugh.
Damn nuisance.
I just call him, you know, like, oh, your child's here.
The child.
I just do
Bless
that.
him.
The child. So I suppose it's good.
No, so thank you very much for
Call him
everybody.
Bill.
No, I don't want to call my hedgehog Bill. I've got a Billy.
Jim?
Yeah, Jim. It's called Jim.
What do you think Jim's a bit... Stuart?
Kerry says Billy is what you call your parrot. I ain't got a parrot.
You can't call a parrot if I don't have a parrot.
I haven't got a parrot.
What about Stuart?
Yeah, Stuart. That's a good name
Yeah,
for a hedgehog.
yeah. I feel like Stuart could work.
Stuart. So we've got a hedgehog
Sorry,
in our
Adrian.
garden.
It's just we couldn't really use the word Billy because like it'd be confusing.
We'd be really confused if I said to somebody, "Oh, I'm just going to go feed Billy in the garden."
They'll probably go, yeah. No, they just go, yeah, because they know he's an idiot, so go, yeah, to go feed him.
Or Billy's eating all his food out of the bowl in the garden.
Yeah, I believe that one as well.
Oh, Billy! I saw Billy going into the next door neighbour's garden.
I'm going to the toilet.
Oh yeah, well, probably him. He gets blamed for everything else.
Oh, I mean, how's Billy? He's gonna go, oh, how's Billy? Oh, he
I've
just
seen him for weeks.
yeah, he's just rolled up into a ball inside the garden at the moment underneath a hedge. Right?
He's been fighting with Zach. So I haven't seen
That
him
your
for
cat?
a few... Yeah, I haven't seen him for a few weeks. He's usually rolled up in a ball.
Underneath a hedge, but lately. I'm actually, speaking of him, I'm just going to get him some mealworms.
I said, right? Work? I said, you don't work.
I'm going to think he works. Barely leaves the garden.
50 Thunderous. 50 Thunderous says call the hedgehog Milligan, as in Spike Milligan. And Gary says Harry the hedgehog. No, I think it's Stuart.
Stuart.
Anyway, I've got a video of Stuart. and I shall show it next week. I'll make sure I transfer it from the iPad onto this
But
one.
we do have a friend called Stuart, but I don't feel like that will confuse
What friend?
anything. We have a friend. I
I
don't
know a friend called Stuart.
you.
Do I?
Sorry, she's rubbish with names.
Not when they're friends, usually.
Stuart!
Stuart.
You literally just like came for a coffee.
Stuart came for a coffee.
I gave a flapjack and a tiramisu.
I don't think he's called Stuart.
Likes
is he?
trains.
Stuart. Anyway. Right. Yes, I know.
Not very bright.
I'm only joking. Right. I'm only joking.
Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next week.
Thank you for great news. It's been hilarious as usual. And thank you for everybody who's joined in. And thank you for everybody that's done the super thanks. Obviously, that's wonderful. And
Yes, thank you very much. That's very much appreciated. Thank you for that.
see you next week.
Yes, see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Bye. Thank you again for the super thanks. Very much appreciated. It really is. Thank you. Bye.